Hi, Graham Butchart here. How are you? We worked together on the Masterclass 1 EQ self-awareness class, and that was the beginning of March or thereabouts. What a journey we've all been on since then. Here we are now in a lockdown virtual world where our ability to communicate is limited to technologies, but we need to be smart with that and utilize those technologies, which we're all beginning to do. That adjustment to what we're experiencing is really a test of our emotional intelligences. It's really bringing this subject of being aware and conscious around what we're doing to the fore. So, we last met at the beginning of March, and in the context of that environment, I had said to you a number of things regarding how the process would continue. Well, we're going to continue with the EQ journey, but we're going to do that now in a virtual way. And the way we will do that is by altering the structure and the methodology slightly. We will still deliver the same rich content, but we're just going to deliver it in a slightly different way. From a virtual online perspective, we know that learning and sustained learning cannot be held longer than about a 2-hour stretch. It's just too much. So we can't do a whole day online learning experience the way that you experienced Masterclass 1. So we're going to now break that 5.5, 6-hour experience up into 3 2-hour experiences. In other words, we will work in a horizontal fashion instead of a vertical day structure. We will work in a horizontal structure over 3 days, 2 hours each day. And there's a video that will go out to explain the detail of that to you. But this brief is for you because you are those first groups that have experienced Masterclass 1. And what we've done now with the structure is we've made your population, which was around 90, into 3 separate groups of 30 each. So going forward, you will work within those groups of 30. So first and foremost is to find out who is in that group with you. Okay, get to know them, make sure you've got their contact details. Reach out where you can. Those details will be sent to you and published shortly. In the meantime, I want you to start thinking about the brief, 2 briefs. The first brief is the personal brief assignment that I gave you, and that brief came around through the learnings from that first masterclass. I'm going to go back over that. I've got some notes on that, so we'll just refresh you on that. And the second brief is what we are referring to as the lean learning. Now, the plan had been for you to work within your original groups in smaller groups, like as we did in those little breakaway sessions of 4 or 5 people. You will each, in those small teams, 4 or 5 people, consider what you had learned in the masterclass and demonstrate your understanding of that by role-playing a real-life work scenario. And that will be what we will continue to do. So you will be told shortly of which team you are in, teams of 5, and working together. You'll have to navigate when you're going to do this. You'll have to collaborate and work together on doing this. You will be given one of the tools or techniques from Masterclass 1, and I'll talk about those in detail in a moment. And you will be challenged as a small team to come up with a role play scenario where you illustrate a typical work situation where the use of one of these emotional toolkits will resolve or make easier that particular challenge. And you role play it out, and it'll be up to you in terms of how creative you can be, inventive you can be, how collaborative you can be together in order to present that. And you will send your discoveries to me, Graham, grahambutchart.com. What we're going to do over the period of the journey is the best of these we will share. We will go through them, we will share them, we will publish them, and hey, there'll be some prizes and great call-outs for some of the insights. So this is an opportunity, one, to demonstrate your understanding of what you learned in the Masterclass 1 session around the themes, but also to demonstrate your ability to apply that in real working life in situations, many of which you're experiencing right now, some of the challenges you're experiencing right now. So it's your opportunity to work together in teams and come up with this. The personal assignments that I said when I delivered the Masterclass 1 to you, I said, oh, these are for you to explore and examine. Because we're not going to have that intimate contact going forward, it's going to be necessary for me to ensure that you're getting the journey, that you're demonstrating you're getting the journey. So what I would like you to do is go back to that assignment. It's at the end of your notes. It's in the document, and I will send you, I'll email you this document as well, so you've got line of sight on that. And I'm going to ask you to then email me your personal assignments. So again, graham@grahambutchart.com, you'll send your personal assignments to me. So let's just go back over this just so that we've got absolute clarity. As a population, you've already completed Masterclass 1. There are about 90 of you. We're going to make 3 groups out of you. Those details will be sent through to you. Michelle Princely will manage that. And then within the groups of 30, we're going to divide you into smaller teams of 5. You will then collaborate as small teams of 5 on those lean learnings. The details of which are in this written brief to you. The object there is for you to demonstrate what you've learned in the master classes, how you would bring that tool or those tools to life in real work scenarios. And you'll present those as video versions or however you want to present them. You will send them to me at grahambutchart.com. So let's just talk about some of those themes, just so that I can remind you of some of the stuff we went through. Remember, these are some of the tools that we went through in Masterclass 1. I talked about journaling. I gave you that list of notes about what's in your control and what's not. I demonstrated and showed you the tool above and below the line. I told you to start exploring your emotions and the vocabulary around those. We talked about breathing and how important that is. We spoke of reflection, and I illustrated that tool of reflection to you. We talked about the value of meditation and mindfulness. We also shared 2 very important TED Talks with you. So go back to those. The first of those was Daniel Siegel's talk, his hand model of the brain. And he mentioned there key aspects of reflection, relationship, and resilience. And he introduced us to the importance of and the mechanics of the prefrontal cortex and how vital that is if we are to regulate our feelings and those upsetting emotions that we often experience. And then we also watched Dr. David Rock, the neuroscientist, who talked about how teaching people about their brains changes how they see their worlds and actually changes how they use their brain. He also talked about the difference between suppression of emotions and the reappraising of emotions and how valuable that was. He talked about how the brain is deeply social, and he introduced us to a wonderful model called the SCARF model. And he wound up by telling us the role and the importance of mindfulness. So, I hope this little video introduction to your Lean Learning brief and your personal assignment brief will be of help to you. I look forward to seeing you again on Masterclass 2 as we explore self-motivation and how important that is to us right now in this lockdown virus world that we're experiencing, this virtual world. How important self-motivation is. Remember that if you've any questions, please reach out to me at graham@grahambutchart.com. So whatever you challenges, whatever it is, there it is, you can reach out to me. Let's work together. Let's make sure we communicate. Find your colleagues in the group, find your colleagues in the team, and begin this journey, and let's celebrate, and let's try and improve the version of who we are. Let's show up as better human beings by using what we're learning on this EQ journey. Thank you all very much.